Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely delighted to be sat opposite Linardo from the Governor's Office as an advisor to the Croatian National Bank. Linardo, how are you?
Very well, thank you for the invitation.
The invitation and the pleasure is truly all mine. It's very interesting. We're here at Cosmoverse. I think the crypto space as a whole has come a very long way now that central banks are entering the conversation, exploring this technology. And of course, you'll be familiar with the matter. So one place that I want to start is with how perhaps the Croatian National Bank is looking at this disruptive technology. Was there a kind of perhaps fear that came in? Was it a sort of interest? You know, how did you guys initially sort of interpret this technology when you came across it?
Maybe it depends on who you ask in the central bank. But what I would like to say, and I think at least from this perspective that I'm also in charge of the innovation hub of the Croatian National Bank, I see it very positive. You know, there are a lot of opportunities. Even though I have maybe to disappoint you, we are kind of as a central bank bankers, we are kind of a technology agnostic.
Yes.
For us, we don't care actually what are the rails in the sense of which technology would you use. What we want to have there, if there's some payment or banking taking place on that technology, that has to be safe, to be fast, to be secure, to be as private as possible. So this is what we are looking at. So in that sense, we are not very like looking at this technology is better or that one. But what we see is the market is very large and it's even growing. So I think there is a lot of potential for it.
Yes,
at least.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's very interesting. Like I say, the people that have sort of came to the conversation. We do all need to take a step back, I think, in crypto and understand that, you know, large institutions like central banks, you know, there is a kind of agnostic approach to it, and rightfully so. And it's really all about maintaining safety, security, stability is probably objective number one, right?
Yeah. Trust is with us. This is what we want to preserve, to have the trust in the institution that issue money, so that people have the trust in the value of the money. This is what we care. And so when the money flows through these rails on that technology, we want to make sure that everything is okay, so that there is a stability. Yeah, totally right.
You know, of course, and we're here in Croatia, we use the euro. Let's maybe talk a little bit about how the sort of National Bank of Croatia is looking perhaps at this technology or to leverage it. You know, we're talking about the digital euro, and then there's perhaps the more wholesale side of things that we can get onto a little bit later on. But how are you guys looking at this technology and perhaps looking to utilize it today?
As regards the digital euro project as a retail CBDC, let's put it on the side.
Yes.
Not that much DLT at the moment now there. But there is an idea of having a wholesale CBDC there, very interconnected and interoperable with the DLT. There are two projects currently taking place in the ECB, which are APIA and Pontes projects, which are very on, they would like to have it there. It's only an idea. It's only at the beginning. So I think we will see much more of that. The reason is, of course, that we also as a central bank and the euro system as a whole, our monetary union, we just don't want to be left behind. We see there's something going on. We see there's a lot of new opportunities there. So we also have to be there, because, yeah, once we had only a cash, it was only physical, but now we are living in a digital world. We need to digitalize. So whether on a centralized ledger or now even to move to this distributed ledger. So I think that's the right way.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. You know, we talk about sort of DLTs and perhaps being the rails upon which money evolves. You know, you'd have witnessed a very cash-heavy society to go into a more digital world. Do you perhaps see DLT technology as playing a role in that evolution?
I mean, cash is one thing.
Of course.
It's totally different from the digital world. Sometimes people really like to compare it and to say how, well, that's not really, like cash. But nothing digital could ever really be like cash.
Yes.
You have it in your pocket to have a banknote, to be safe. Okay, it's here, whatever you want to say. It could be very similar, but never the same. But now, go to the digitalized world. As I said, again, what I'm personally looking at, what we in central bank are looking at the moment, it doesn't really matter on which rails it is it? So it's kind of a matter of, it's a digitalized money. There is some transfer of value, transfer of money, and this is where we want to make sure everything is fine, everything is stable, everything is secure. So again, a little bit of disappointing about this technologically agnostical approach, but
No, I think in part I very much expected that because, like I say, the sort of central bank's job is to maintain stability. You know, you're there as that pillar for the financial world, and to essentially favour something when there's no real need to do that, is there? Right? It's all about sort of understanding the technology and understanding the unlock that it could bring, perhaps, to the people of Croatia. Do you envision benefits for the people of Croatia with some of this technology?
Maybe, but what we see, what we are looking at is in this area of the financial system, how to evolve it there. I didn't see any attempt to have it in any other use case.
Yes.
There were attempts at the beginning, as far I know, but nothing very serious. No, only in this finance. So something is going on there, even though, let's say, we don't have any issuers of stablecoins, which would, because stablecoins are, let's put it this way, electronic money on DLT. But we just don't have any issuers of these stablecoins in Croatia, which is interesting. I would like to maybe to see one, or at least so that we learn together what is going on there.
Yeah, would you say that Croatia would be open to that kind of embrace? You've just mentioned that you'd like to see some stablecoin issuers. Is that something that you think?
I mean, there's a legal framework. We have in the European Union, we have markets in crypto assets regulation, which allows issuing electronic money on DLT. I mean,
yeah, so why not?
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely. You know, that's something I would certainly like to see. And I do think there are benefits. I think you talk about costs, you talk about things like this, you talk about competitiveness. I think that distributed ledger technology could really be harnessed, perhaps by the central bank, but more broadly, you know, the economy of Croatia. And I'd love to see it really benefit from what this technology can bring. You know, we've heard some great people here at Cosmoverse on stage, Belgrade Stock Exchange, you know, we've heard Securities and Exchange Commissions. I'd really like to see this technology, you know, help Croatia elevate with the sort of rest of the world. In fact, perhaps leapfrog in some senses. Do you kind of envision that might take place? And also, in terms of timelines, where do you think, you know, speaking about cash, I think Croatia is still predominantly cash, right?
Yeah.
As a whole, I heard you on stage the other day. I thought that was very insightful.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different from a lot of the Western world, so.
Yeah, but well, from the Western Europe, which is, we are still like Austria and Germany.
Yes.
Well, that's something what people like. People like to use cash, you know, but that's their freedom of a choice.
Of course.
And this is what we offer. Why is that so? I'm not sure. Maybe historically something, I don't know, traditionally something, whatever. But that is the case. But nevertheless, we have, I think in the European Union, I think we have the most developed payment system in the world.
Yes.
The options are, I don't know, there are a million options the way that you can pay. Digitally, I mean, not only the cash. So it's kind of, it's up to the user, it's up to the consumer to choose whatever he wants to where to go. I don't know. We offer as a central bank, we still offer cash. We will preserve the cash because there is, now we propose the regulation on cash and regulation on the digital euro, both to be the legal tender in the European Union. So, I don't know, we push both agendas.
Push both, and I think that's the world that we're moving towards, is where both exist. I love Croatia's approach to that. You know, you're offering the options, you're giving people what they want, and you're not, you know, there's a kind of fear, I think, with digital currencies, certainly that leverage distributed ledger technology. You know, people are kind of a little bit fearful of it. You know, people want cash. I love that Croatia really upholds that. And I think that's really a testament to what...
I'm a consumer as well. I work for the central bank. You have your own job, but you're a consumer as well. Sometimes I have cash. I have like 10 cards. I have a mobile phone. I have applications. I have everything because, well, that's possibility. I have an option.
Yeah. So the rollout is going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how all of this works. You know, it's great to get an insight from somebody who's so close, of course, with the Croatian National Bank, a central bank in the room now. We really have come very far as an industry. And Linardo, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.